The last time you couldn't fall asleep, you probably blamed yourself. Maybe you checked the clock. Maybe you grabbed your phone. Maybe you started worrying about tomorrow. For millions of people, that is a completely normal night. But for almost all of human history, it would have been a very strange one. For roughly 300,000 years, human beings lived without bedrooms, alarm clocks, blackout curtains, sleeping pills, or glowing screens. Yet somehow they still managed to sleep. In many ways, they may have slept better than you do. That sounds difficult to believe, because modern life treats sleep like a problem that constantly needs fixing. Today, people track sleep scores, buy supplements, and download apps designed to help them rest. Your ancestors had none of those things. Instead, they had something far older. They had darkness, they had fire, and they had each other. Imagine the end of an ordinary day 20,000 years ago. The hunt is over. Food has been shared. Children are beginning to settle down. The air is becoming colder as the sun disappears below the horizon. Nobody is checking messages. Nobody is answering emails. Nobody is scrolling through endless information. Darkness is arriving, and the entire camp can feel it. For ancient humans, sunset was not just a change in lighting. It was a biological signal repeated every day for countless generations. Your body still responds to that signal today. As daylight fades, the brain begins preparing for sleep. Ancient humans experienced this transition almost every evening of their lives. Modern people often interrupt it with artificial light long after sunset. That difference may matter more than most people realize. But prehistoric evenings were not silent. In fact, they may have been the most important social hours of the entire day. As darkness spreads across the landscape, people gather around a campfire. The fire provides warmth, the fire provides protection, the fire provides light. But researchers believe it provided something even more valuable: time. Without fire, darkness would have ended most activity. With fire, humans gained extra hours for conversation, teaching, planning, and storytelling. Anthropologist Polly Weissner discovered something fascinating while studying evening conversations among hunter-gatherers. During the day, conversations focused on practical matters like food, water, hunting, and immediate survival. At night, the topics changed dramatically. People discussed relationships. People discussed dreams. People discussed ancestors. People discussed ideas. The fire changed the conversation. Imagine sitting beside the flames with 20 or 30 people you have known your entire life. Children sit quietly near their parents. Hunters relax after a long day. Grandparents settle into familiar places beside the fire. An elder begins telling a story. Perhaps it explains where the stars came from. Perhaps it teaches a lesson about courage. Perhaps it preserves knowledge about dangerous animals or distant water sources. Nobody writes the story down. Nobody records it. The story survives because people remember it. For thousands of generations, campfires functioned as libraries. Every evening became an opportunity to transfer knowledge into the future. This may explain something surprising about modern life. Before sleep, many people still enjoy doing exactly what their ancestors did: listening to stories. The technology changed, the habit did not. Today, it might be a podcast, a television series, a novel, a YouTube video. 20,000 years ago, it was a voice beside a fire. The human desire remains remarkably similar. But there is another common myth about prehistoric sleep. Many people imagine ancient humans collapsing from exhaustion the moment darkness arrived. The evidence suggests something more complicated. Historian Roger E. Kirch became famous for studying historical sleep patterns across different societies. His research revealed that uninterrupted 8-hour sleep may not have always been the universal human standard. Many people throughout history experienced periods of wakefulness during the night. Some researchers suspect that segmented sleep may have much deeper roots. In other words, waking briefly during the night may not automatically means something is wrong. Your ancestors may have done it too. Of course, prehistoric sleep was not always peaceful. The world could be dangerous. Predators existed, storms existed, conflict existed. Complete safety never existed. Someone often remained alert while others slept. The campfire reduced risk. The group reduced risk. But vigilance never disappeared entirely. This created a powerful advantage for social living. Sleeping alone was dangerous. Sleeping together was safer. The archaeological record repeatedly suggests that cooperation was one of humanity's greatest survival tools. That cooperation continued even after sunset. You protected others while they slept. Others protected you while you slept. The group survived together. Research among modern hunter-gatherers provides additional clues about how ancient humans may have experienced the night. Anthropologist James Sussman documented aspects of life among the Jew-Hoansi people of southern Africa. Their daily schedules were shaped primarily by nature rather than clocks. People adjusted to sunlight. People adjusted to temperature. People adjusted to changing seasons. Time felt different. Ancient humans rarely worried about arriving somewhere at exactly 8 a.m. The next morning depended more on sunlight than schedules. That alone may have transformed the experience of sleep. Think about how many people fall asleep worrying about tomorrow. Deadlines, bills, appointments, notifications, messages waiting for replies. Ancient humans certainly had worries of their own, but many modern anxieties simply did not exist. There was no overflowing inbox waiting at sunrise. There was no calendar packed months into the future. There was no alarm clock threatening to interrupt sleep at a precise minute. Instead, mornings often began when people naturally woke up. This does not mean life was easier. It means life was different, and that difference matters. Researchers studying hunter-gatherer sleep have discovered another surprising pattern. Some modern hunter-gatherer groups do not necessarily sleep longer than people in industrial societies. Studies involving researchers, such as Jerome Siegel, found that sleep duration can be surprisingly similar, but there is an important difference. Their sleep is often more closely aligned with natural environmental cues. The temperature drops, the light fades, the body responds. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was normal. Then, artificial lighting changed everything. Humans gained the ability to turn night into day. Productivity expanded, entertainment expanded, opportunities expanded, but sleep disruption expanded too. Your brain evolved in one environment and now lives in another. That mismatch may explain why sleep sometimes feels difficult. Yet the most interesting part of prehistoric sleep might not be sleep itself. It might be what happened before it. Before sleep came conversation. Before sleep came storytelling. Before sleep came connection. People laughed together. People planned together. People remembered together. People imagined together. Night was not simply a shutdown period. It was a social event. The end of the day brought people closer together. In many ways, sleep began long before anyone closed their eyes. A familiar voice, a shared story, a glowing fire. These experiences may have helped signal safety to the brain. And safety is deeply connected to sleep. Even today, many people sleep better when they feel secure. Your ancestors were no different. The methods changed. The biology did not. Eventually, the fire burns lower. The stories come to an end. Children drift asleep beside their families. Adults settle into silence. The stars move slowly overhead. The camp grows quiet. One more day has ended. Tomorrow will bring new challenges. Tomorrow will bring new opportunities. Tomorrow will bring new stories. But for now, rest is enough. For hundreds of thousands of years, scenes like this repeated across Africa, Europe, Asia, and eventually much of the world. Different languages, different landscapes, different traditions, yet the pattern remained remarkably familiar. Gather together, share stories, watch the fire, fall asleep. Modern life often separates these experiences. Many people now spend the final hour of the day alone with a glowing screen. The fire became electricity. The storyteller became an algorithm. The gathering became a feed. Some changes brought enormous benefits. Others may have quietly changed the way humans experience the night. So the next time you find yourself staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep, remember something. Your brain was not designed in a world of glowing screens and endless notifications. It was shaped beside campfires. It was shaped by stories. It was shaped by darkness, community, and rhythms, repeated across thousands of generations. And long before bedrooms existed, long before alarm clocks existed, and long before anyone worried about sleep optimization, your ancestors were ending the day in a way that still feels strangely familiar. They gathered together, they listened to stories, they watched the fire, and when their bodies were ready, they fell asleep.